Good afternoon. Not a bad weekend. I thought we played well overall. I thought our Friday night game was probably one of the better results for us. Just playing an NCAA tournament team and a challenge of playing against a team that does a lot of the things that we want to do well. All the things that are kind of in your control: hardworking, great work ethic, confident, that kind of thing. And I thought we we had to problem solve. We had to sort things out on the fly, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that, and got a good win there. I think the game yesterday was also good, despite losing 2-1. I think um, came out and played really well the first half. Probably get the second goal in the first half to go up 2-0. We probably end up maybe winning that game and getting even a third, but um, they were just better in the second, a little bit better in the second half, and scored on a couple of their chances. One was just a fantastic goal, so credit to them for scoring that way. But um, I think our girls were rightfully disappointed not to get a result. So that was it was something good to see come out of that. But now it's just time to, as I told them, to respond and have a good week of training and get after it this weekend. So, questions?
I think you might have been alluding to this just in your recap, but were these two matches that were just good learning experiences as a whole and good things to build on moving forward with this team?
Well, I had nothing to do with putting the schedule together, but I think the schedule we've had is a regional schedule. It's a typical schedule that we're going to play the North Dakota States, the South Dakota State. We're going to play teams like that, and I think when you're putting together a schedule, you really want to make sure you get at least one or two opponents that are identical to what you're going to play in the league. So I think Montana is more along the lines of Illinois State and Drake, two teams that are favored to win the Valley. I think, trying to get a result in a game like that is similar to what it's going to be like having to beat Illinois State. So I think that's the part that was good. Was I thought we were every bit as good as them. You just got to be able to take your chances. It's one thing if you don't create a lot of chances. We create enough to score 4 or 5, which is great. We can work on the efficiency. It's the work of when you're not creating to have to, really get them repetitions. But I think it was good all around.
Scout this week's opponents for us.
Northern Illinois is a team that I think will be very similar to a lot of the opponents we've had thus far. They've had a couple of good results. It's a game that'll be played on a turf surface, which means the game will be a little bit, it's going to play a little bit faster, which I think we've been able to adapt to. Similar to South Dakota State, I think going to be really hard nosed. We beat them in the spring. Obviously, spring games are you kind of take with a grain of salt, but I think they had a lot of returning players, which that's the one nice thing about the spring is if you play a team that has kind of a veteran group coming back, you get a little bit better of an idea of what they look like, because you're only, you're playing them in April, and they'll add a few new players, but it by the looks of, they've got a couple really good attacking players who they had in the spring that were good. So it'll be a really good test for us. I think they're always a team. My history in playing them, being at other schools, was they were a very good home team. They just play very well at home. So I think part of that is just, again, the adjustment from playing on grass to playing on turf is, it's not as much of an adjustment because we've got that out, in the dome to be able to practice on and help us adapt. So, North Dakota will be a little bit interesting. Chris Logan is there, the coach from last year. So nobody knows this team as well as he probably does. So in terms of scouting and having a sense of what we're like, no stone will be left unturned with them. But I think it'll be a pretty spirited match. They've done quite well. Got beat by Auburn 2-0, which was a good result going on the road against the top 20 team. So I think they'll be ready. It's just a question of, again, it's Sundays. It's our last Friday Sunday match of the year, And the Sunday games, really, it's that second half that really catches up to you, you know. And a lot of it also depends on what's your Friday game. And our sometimes our toughest game, I feel like, of the weekends has always been the Friday game. So you got to have enough in the tank, and that's where it really tests your depth. And so I think we came out of the game pretty healthy. I know one of our center backs looks like she's got a couple black eyes from getting hit in the face. So we should be, hopefully our depth continues to build, and we'll be able to even go a little bit deeper on our bench on the weekend.